Damon Salvatore. Damon Salvatore is an antagonist and one of the main characters in the timeless series, The Vampire Diaries. He is known for being cunning, charming, passionate, manipulative, and impulsive. Damon is suffering from a mental disorder known as antisocial personality disorder, and today I'm going to tell you guys why. Hi, I'm Wamahiga. I'm a psychological counseling trainee, and today we are going to psychologically dissect the psychology of Damon Salvatore. So Damon is a very interesting character, and he takes us on a roller coaster of emotions. We feel bad for him due to several traumatic events which happened in his life. For example, when Damon was a child, he was physically abused by his father. He then had to go fight the World War in order to appease his father, where he definitely saw atrocious sights of death, injury, bloodshed, and him having to kill people as well. He is forcibly turned into a vampire by Stefan, and he is kidnapped and tortured by Augustine for 5 whole years. So these activities definitely resulted in a lot of trauma in Damon himself. What are some of the bad things that Damon did which put him in the antisocial personality disorder spectrum? One, he murdered a lot of innocent people. He killed countless innocent people because either he was bored or enraged, but that's not a valid excuse to kill somebody anyway. Killing Lexi, who was Stefan's best friend on Stefan's birthday, was definitely a rough thing to do. Killing Jeremy just because Elena did not want to kiss him while she was in another relationship. Abusing Caroline. Caroline tried to escape from Damon several times, but he compelled her to be okay with everything that he was doing to her, which is a non-consensual violation of her will. Damon was drinking her blood, trying to kill her, compelled her to do his dirty work, such as freeing him from prison by compelling her fear away, and he also used this to sleep with her, which for lack of a better word is sexual assault. Abusing Andy. When Damon and Andy first started dating, he did the exact same thing that he did to Caroline, and he slept with Andy, he fed off Andy, and compelled her fear away. Damon compelled Andy to love and care about him, and Andy was compelled to keep his secrets, especially his former vampire identity. Damon fed off Andy and her blood regularly while they were together, which is also non-consensual. Damon leaving Enzo, who was supposed to be one of his best friends in a fire. He turned off his humanity in order for him to do so without guilt. And when Enzo confronted Damon about killing Maggie, he said he just didn't care. When someone is that rude and ruthless while they do something which is so emotional, it's very cruel of Damon to have done that in the first place. Murdering Jeremy Gilbert, who was Elena's brother, because Elena and Catherine rejected him. Damon was also very impulsive, and he tended to act impulsively. He regularly made careless choices which endangered him and others. He acted on his emotions without thinking through the consequences, which often resulted in very disastrous outcomes. Damon was a very selfish character who often put his own desires above the needs of others. He was willing to hurt those around him in order for him to get what he wanted, which made him a very difficult character to root for. Violence. As a vampire, Damon leaned towards violence, and he was quick to resort to physical force to get his way, which often led to a lot of bloody confrontations with a lot of characters in the show. Manipulation. Damon was a skilled manipulator who could play people to get what he wanted. He would lie and deceive those around him without remorse, which made him a difficult character to trust. And manipulating Caroline is just one example. Damon had a history of addiction, especially alcoholism. He struggled with it and often used it as a way to cope with his emotional pain. So what is antisocial personality disorder anyway? Antisocial personality disorder is a challenging type of personality disorder which is characterized by impulsive, irresponsible, and often criminal behavior. Someone with antisocial personality disorder will typically be manipulative, deceitful, reckless, and will not care about other people's feelings. Let's look at some of the traits of antisocial personality disorder which are mentioned in the DSM-5, which Damon actually correlates with. So individuals with ASPD tend to be very charismatic, attractive, and very good at obtaining sympathy from others. Damon used to cause really catastrophic events, and then he was vindicated when he says he misses Elena, or it's not him who made himself a vampire, basically victimizing himself and making himself as a victim of injustice, while he never took accountability of the bad things which he actually did. Those with antisocial personality disorder possess an impaired moral conscience and make decisions driven purely by their own desires without considering the needs or negative effects of their actions on others. Irritability and aggression, which manifested as frequently assaulting others or engaging in fighting, blatantly disrespecting the safety of himself and others, and he had a pattern of irresponsibility and a lack of remorse for his actions. So what causes antisocial personality disorder? So there's no single cause of ASPD, but the following factors may increase a person's risk of developing the disorder. So number one is biology. People with ASPD may have unusual levels of serotonin, which is a chemical in the brain which regulates our mood and our feelings of happiness. Our environment, trauma and abuse early in childhood increases the risk of developing ASPD later on in life. Genetics is another cause. There may be some genetic factors which can predispose some individuals to develop ASPD. However, there is no one genetic factor which is thought to be responsible for the condition. The other one is lifestyle. About half of the people with ASPD also have problems with drugs or alcohol. What are the treatment options for ASPD? So the treatment options can include cognitive behavioral therapy, antipsychotic drugs, or antidepressants. So according to my research, we can definitely say that Damon is suffering from antisocial personality disorder, which according to his case has mostly been brought about by traumatic interactions that he had with his environment. So what do you guys think about today's characters dissection?